obviously just coming into the situation. Would you mind kind of catch me up to speed on what's all going on and what you're ultimately trying to do? I know you guys probably have a couple different options.
Well, so the ultimate goal would be to sell it. Just be completely done with it. We're done. Walk away from it. We move on with our lives. Unfortunately, Mom bought a piece of property that is not, I guess how you would say, in the hottest market down there.
Yeah.
So at this point, we're kind of two blocked. So it's like she doesn't want anything more to do with the house. She wants to be back up here and whatnot. So now we're, just trying to explore options on what we can do moving forward to ultimately just be done with it and get rid of it. And so then we got hooked up with Sergio, and here we are.
Awesome. Very cool. Well, glad to connect with you here, and I appreciate Sergio, putting us in touch.
Sure.
Now, obviously, the market's extremely competitive. That would be an understatement. What options have you guys tried already? Have you guys talked to cash investors? Have you guys tried listing it? Just so I know what you guys have already tried.
Yeah. So, you were working with a realtor down there, listed it.
It was on the market for, I want to say, 6-7 months.
Jeez. Wow.
But I think, I don't know how realty works, but she wouldn't return calls. It just was not. It was just a shit show. For lack of a better.
Yeah, I get it. She wouldn't return your calls, or wouldn't return calls from prospective buyers?
It wouldn't return my calls until I started getting snotty and sending her nasty emails or text messages.
Jeez. Wow. So 7 months, and you decided to just kind of call it quits, and were you guys getting any interest from buyers at that time?
Well, yeah, there was some interest, but then I don't know. I just don't feel like she was doing her job.
Mm-hmm. It seems like it. I mean, you're the one that she's working for, and if she can't even return your calls, it happens though. There's definitely a lot of bad apples in the realtor space. My company and I were on the agency side, and then we're also on the investment side, so we deal with a lot of intertwined business. So okay, so you guys have tried going retail. Have you guys tried working with maybe cash investors?
Well, we talked to one guy. He was talking 400 miles an hour, and it was like dealing with a used car salesman, and he kept using terms like what was the big one that creative financing and stuff like that. So I let him go through his 20-minute spiel, and he was really nice on the phone and stuff. And kind of the same thing I said to Sergio, I said to him. I was like, well, yeah, that's fine. The big thing is just making sure that Mom, she knows what she's signing up for. So send me over, your cookie cutter contract, and I'll have my guys look at it. And as soon as I mentioned that, it was, oh, well, I don't know, blah, blah, blah. And it was like, well, it's like, we're going to have something in place that's like, not just going to sign over that, you, Mr. Cash Investor, you get to call all the shots for the property. But the minute something goes wrong, it's all on my mom. You know what I mean? Like, we're not interested in that. So, that didn't go anywhere, and then I think then Sergio got a hold of you, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm the guy that most investors here in town and a couple other states they call when they have a unique situation. Like I said, I have an agency side where I take properties and list them retail. Also do a lot of fix and flips here locally. And then the third thing would be kind of what that guy's name was that called you, and they did creative stuff. We do the same kind of thing. However, at the end of the day, I have so much business and opportunity coming to me that if it ultimately isn't a good fit for you guys, I can find and point you guys in the right direction. If you guys are really just looking for a cash offer, I can point you guys towards that. Now, based on my conversation with Sergio, it doesn't seem like a cash offer is really a good fit in this situation. nor would listing it could be, but from what we've seen in your last experience. So now tell me more about this other offer that you guys had. Was it just the agreement that he didn't want to send to you? Did you guys talk numbers or what the structure looked like? Anything like that?
It was basically, he wanted somebody in there, to rent a place or whatever, or like a rent to own type thing, creative financing. Mm-hmm. But it was basically, in a nutshell, what I got out of him was that, his contract would basically, my mom is signing off all the rights to the property, mm-hmm. to Fed whatever investment company. Mm-hmm. But there was all the creative language and the legalese in there that, boy, if something started to go south or whatever, that, well, mom was still technically on the hook on it because she's technically still the owner. Mm-hmm. And that kind of, it was just like, and so I was like, well, why don't you just buy it then? If you want to have control over it, well, just buy it. Mm-hmm. We'll sell for what she paid for it. It's worth more than that now, current market value, mm-hmm. But he didn't want to do that because then all of his capital would be wrapped up in it. And that's just, he can't do that. And it's like, okay, well, I mean, we're just not, we want to avoid, we just want to make sure everything's on the straight and narrow. So I don't want you guys to think that I'm all hung up on the contracting part of it, but
sure.
There definitely has to be something in place that it's like, whatever, terms we decide to come to, it's got to be best for both parties, right? It can't just be all one-sided that's what that was starting to shake out to be. Mm. It was, they had free reign to do whatever they want, however they want. They are the ones in charge of it, but, the minute that, something, they couldn't get a renter or this or that, or they had, then it was like, well, then it all still fell back on my mom, and it's like, well, if we're going to go down the road of like, we're all about wanting to work with a team, you know what I mean, and people that actually know real estate and stuff, but at the same time, it's just got to be, it's got to be beneficial for both of us, right?
100%. Yeah, I totally agree. My interest is the same as yours, and that's to ultimately solve the problem that you guys are faced with. And if I can make some money doing that, great, because obviously I run a business. But ultimately, if I don't, solve your issue, then I don't make money either way. So, and I even do situations where I can help you guys list the property through referrals, and you guys can get a great agent, and I make no money. Happy to do that too. Ultimately it just depends on what everything else looks like. So, sure. You said the property's worth significantly more than what your mother paid for it. Do you know what it's worth right now?
I don't know that it's significantly more. What is it up now? I mean, didn't you say you bought it for how much? 301?
I don't remember.
299 or something like that. And then I think that when she went to go sell it, it might be worth like 22 grand more or something.
Got it.
Like it's 320 325, I forget.
I see. Okay, so that might have been one of the challenges in the first place with going through the agency option. It doesn't seem like you guys have. Obviously now, I don't know when that agreement ended, but it's been about a year, right, since you guys purchased it. Obviously the market's gone up like crazy in most of Arizona, but it seems like the equity in this property isn't really there.
Right.
So that's obviously a little bit of a challenge there. Do you know what you guys owe on the mortgage right now?
I have no idea. Mom bought this place, and I moved down there with my sister, and I'm just the default.
Sure. Sergio,
Mom wants to come home, so she's in my house now, and by the way, you gotta help me sell my house.
Oh my gosh! Well, you're a saint for helping out. Sergio, do you? I think you mentioned something about a loan document. Do you know what the payoff amount is?
I have no idea, Mom. That's all you.
I do. I have no clue. To be honest.
No worries. I'm just trying to, I'm a numbers guy, and I'm also a problem solver, so I'm trying to put two and two together so I can give you guys a real solution here. I think Sergio mentioned it was somewhere around like maybe 280. Does that seem right, Sergio?
$273,983 as of November.
Okay, so it's probably okay. So it's probably a little adjusted there. And then Sergio had mentioned that you guys are behind on maybe a couple of payments. Is that true, or did you guys bring those up?
Well, when I was coming home, they told me about this COVID relief thing, and so I signed up for that, but they made it sound all grandiose, and obviously it wasn't what they portrayed it to be. So yeah, I guess I'm way behind in the mortgage.
Got it. I've heard from certain homeowners that have helped out through situations similar is that what they're trying to do is turn like a 30-year mortgage into a 40-year mortgage, and they're just putting all missed payments back on the end of the mortgage and extending it. I don't know if that's something they've gone through, but that was an idea there for a while. So, okay. Have you thought about doing maybe like a loan modification of some sort and renting it out, or do you have no interest in?
I talked to I can't remember the guy's name, and he said that just wasn't feasible, or I don't know why.
Got it. Was that like a lender?
Yeah, it was. I'm trying to remember the name. I'm sorry, I'm not.
No, you're fine. I don't need specifics. I just want to make sure that you're not getting information like that from a realtor or an investor, because I could be honest with you, I don't know the technicalities of loan mods and loan adjustments and stuff. That would be a loan officer. So sometimes I see investors and realtors try to give information when they don't even know the truth. So I'm just making sure you're getting accurate stuff. Okay, so the other thing too is, obviously we talked about agency, you guys going retail, and you guys have already tried that. There may be enough equity now that it's probably been some time. So that's one option that I can help you guys out with. Option number 2, if you guys wanted to, I can try to help you guys get a loan modification if you had any interest in keeping it. Option number 3, which probably wouldn't work in the situation, but I typically prefer to pay for properties in cash. These are properties that I do like a fix and flip on and renovate. But that probably wouldn't work based on what you owe. And I'm looking at pictures right now, and this thing's like move-in ready, so it doesn't even need any work. So that leaves me to the fourth and final option. And I know you guys have already heard this. I may not be a good fit for you guys, and maybe you guys aren't comfortable doing this, but I'm going to let you know what I can do anyway. Similar to the other investor, right? I will take on existing mortgages, and I will continue making the payments on those. Now that does a couple of things for you. The first thing is whatever you owe in back payments, I would bring current for you, which would help your credit, right? If you would sell it cash right now, that would still show as a default, even though you paid the loan off, and that would affect your credit. So I would bring the loan up current. I would continue making the payments on it. My intention would be just to hold on to it long term. I don't think this thing's going to be a huge moneymaker at the end of the day because it is pretty rural, but I will buy property to offset my taxes and my other businesses because I get to do write-offs and depreciation, which I'm all for. So that would be another option, right? I've done hundreds of those types of transactions. I've done them all across the state. I know every ins and out. And obviously, paperwork, happy to have you guys look over that, and you guys can work with my attorney if you guys want to.
Sure. So what benefits? You guys would just take on making the payments for it, and then whether you rent it out or whatever, it's just kind of in your court at that point. We don't have to worry about anything. What happens if something breaks in the house? Like, are we on the hook for that too, or no?
No, that's a great question. So what happens is obviously we put everything in writing and agree to it. We would close as you would any other transaction through a title company. What we're going to do is, instead of paying your mortgage company directly each month, we're going to be paying a third-party company that's going to service our loan. Now that does a couple of things, but I'll get into that in just a minute here. We are taking the title to the property, and that's for one very important reason. As you understand, my intention would be to rent it out I don't want you guys have to sell the property and then still be liable for the tenants because you guys are on the title. So with that, anything that happens to the property, taxes, insurance, any kind of repairs, maintenance, because I'm listed on the title, that would be my responsibility.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm all for it. I mean, it's a path forward, you know?
Mm-hmm. And how does Mom feel about that?
No. She's asking if she gets any money. No. Why would you get any money?
Well, I don't know. I'm just...
You just don't have to worry about the damn house anymore.
Well, that's not a crazy question. Obviously, I don't know what your situation looks like, but as I told you guys earlier, if I take over the mortgage payments and bring everything current, is that going to help you enough? Am I going to sleep good at night? So if you guys need money, I can talk to my team and see if we can give you guys maybe $2,500 or $5,000. You know, obviously I just want to make sure that I'm solving your problem, and it may not just be the property.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to take over the property and get the mortgage cut, it's every goddamn time, I swear. You know, especially, you know, like for the work that we do, like, you know, we get the contracting with the government and shit to go work on a Navy base or something, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, I mean, I know how we handle that on my end of the stuff that I do, you know, RFIs, RFPs, and, you know, change orders and stuff like that, but...
I just don't want a big surprise. You know what I'm saying? I just want it to be...
Black and white.
I don't know how to word it.
Yeah, you want it to be straightforward, no surprises, everything is understood mutually in a way that everybody can understand. Is that...
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
It's just straight up, you know, it's just like, okay, here, you guys are like, you know, you're like, with your company, here's what we're going to do, A, B, and C,
mm-hmm.
you know, whatever, and then what's expected of us, you know,
sure.
And you know, just so that we're all aware of, you know, who's on the hook for what, and what that looks like, right?
Sure. So here's a good answer to some of those nuances, details that you'll see in the agreement once you look at it. Obviously, us doing this agreement legally, because the mortgage is staying in your name, you guys aren't going to be off the hook for that mortgage until it's paid off, right? But the other part of it is, you know, we're putting into an agreement that we're going to sign and notarize and file with the county that our company is going to be making those payments towards that mortgage.
Sure.
Now, we're going to keep this in place for the life of the loan. You know, our intention isn't to buy this property now and hope that the market skyrockets and sell and make a profit. That's just not how we do it. Right. The other thing would be, you know, we're paying for any kind of repairs or maintenance or taxes. At close of escrow, we're paying for the closing costs, and, you know, if we agree that we can give you guys some money at close of escrow, that's obviously, you know, there's going to be nothing coming out of your pocket in this situation. Right. The thing that I mentioned earlier with us paying a third-party company, so they're a loan servicing company. We pay them every single month, and then they pay your mortgage. The reason we do that is so that each and every payment that we're making towards your mortgage is documented. So if your mom wanted to go and get another mortgage and she had to pre-qualify, all she would have to do is show the new company statements from our third-party loan servicing company that we're making the payments instead of her.
Gotcha.
And what would happen is they're going to adjust her debt to income, and just like that, she's immediately going to be qualified for another loan. That's a big concern for a lot of people, even though she's behind on a couple of payments, because we're helping her credit by catching it up.
Yep, 100%.
Let me think of anything else that I could possibly let's see. What we might want to do is continue whatever insurance policy she has in place. We might want to either continue that policy and add ourselves to that policy as an additional insured, or we'll cancel that policy out and get our own. So that's not really much of a nuance, but sometimes people, you know, worry about it.
Yeah. Okay.
Let me see if there's anything else. Obviously, one of the things, and believe it or not, I've got asked this a couple of times. If there's ever a fire or some kind of crazy disaster with the property, insurance money goes to us, not to you. And of course, the mortgage is paid off.
Yeah.
Those are really some of the bigger nuances, right? Obviously, the biggest thing that people get concerned about is the liability of the mortgage. I think we have a clear understanding on that.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any other questions or anything like that about how this all works?
No. I mean, it's just from our conversation tonight. I like it. I mean, Sergio's got my email address. If you want to forward over, any documents you got that, we can hopefully get it turned around here this week and get it sent back to you and get the ball rolling.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Awesome. So you're going to get that reviewed. When could I expect to hear back from you with either by Wednesday?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And then just so you guys know, I have this conversation a lot with different people. I just want you guys to understand that I love a yes. I'm okay with the no, but I definitely cannot stand a maybe. So if you guys are on the fence about this, just feel free to let me know. I'm not going to be hard.
We got to do something with it.
I am so not on the fence.
No, we're going to do it. I mean, we got to do something with it because what's going on right now ain't helping anybody. So.
Sure. Okay. Well, I'll go ahead and send that to you. I'll get your email from Sergio, and then I'm gonna have a conversation with my team and make sure we're good with everything.
Sure.
Because ultimately, it's a collective decision, and then I'm gonna try to see if I can put some money in your guys' pocket at Close the Best Row.
Sounds good.